Hello, fabulous Virgos, and welcome to Ruby Rose Tarot for your general reading for October 2019. I'm excited to have you here. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. And if you're not, you can just subscribe by hitting the little bell button, and fun little videos from me pop into your YouTube inbox. And if not, that's cool too. It's all good. You can still pop in and watch them at any time. It's all good. I'm fine. It's fun if you subscribe, but if not, I still love ya. All right, guys, if you're new and you don't know how it works, I basically have meditated on your cards and channeled and blessed them and all that, and I pull 6 tarot cards. I'll pull additional tarot cards if I need clarification on some cards, and I also pull an energy oracle card. And basically what I do is I give you an overview, kind of the highlight astrologically wise for the month. And the reason I do that is because I actually just finished Aries, and so much astrologically. They had a full moon in Aries that it tied into the reading significantly. So that's usually I like to give an astrological overview. Sometimes I'll put a little timestamp of when I start the tarot card reading. So if you just want to get to the reading, that's fine too. I don't have hurt feelings. It's what works for you guys. But I do it all. I try not to make the videos too long, but sometimes it just happens. It's the messages that come through. I have no control over that. Okay, so let's get to your astrology for the month of October. All right, guys, the big huge thing that's happening this month is on October 3rd, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. And you're like, why is that a big deal? Well, because Pluto 1 has been in retrograde for 5 months. He's actually been sitting still for 2 months. And he is going to put a highlight on relationships this month. And it's been coming through on all the readings. So, and I'm looking at yours and we'll talk about it. That's a big one this month. It's going to be a key theme. The next one is also on the 3rd. Mercury is going to enter Scorpio. Scorpio is truth and honesty. So be very careful on how you're delivering that truth and honesty this month. It's fine to deliver truth and honesty. Truth's hard enough to hear as it is, so let's not be too heavy-handed with it, right? Try and deliver that truth and honesty with a lot of love. It will be heard better, if that makes sense. And on the 4th, Mars is going to enter Libra, leaves your sign actually and enters Libra, which I love because Mars is definitely, he's the warrior, he's the, soldier, he's going to charge. He's going to shoot first and ask question later. And what is great is Libra goes, no, let's knock on the door rather than shooting down the door, right? So it's great because Mars is going to have that great go-getting energy, but Libra's like, no, let's strategize a little bit with this energy, which I think is fabulous. And on the 8th, Venus is going to enter Scorpio. So watch how you approach relationships. There may be some distrust. We'll talk about that. That's coming up for some of y'all. Distrust, honesty, lack of honesty in a relationship. Are you not being honest with someone or yourself in a relationship? All that may come up. The other thing that makes it Venus a little hard in Scorpio is it definitely makes it sensual. So I gotta be honest, guys, if you're in a relationship that is not going well and not the direction that you want, but the sex is really good, that Venus and Scorpio is gonna make it a little harder to leave. And it's one of the things that you should evaluate. Is this relationship purely sexual, but on the other things, there's no emotional satisfaction. There's no support. There's no real love. It's just sex. I don't think I can do that long term. So all that stuff may come to highlight the 8th and on. The 13th is an amazing full moon in Aries, and it's been really interesting because this full moon is super powerful. The sun also sextiles Jupiter on that day, which is another expanding energy to help blast that full moon energy, to enlighten things, to shine a light. This is a powerful moon, and it's very much about your destiny in the world, how you want to be seen in the world, how you want to present yourself in the world. You're really focused on that, right? If there is a part of yourself that you feel like you're hiding and you're not presenting to the world, that will come to light. If you feel like, you're being fake in some way, you're not, it's not lost on me that Scorpio season is the time of mass right? Social masks. And we have different masks that we wear all the time for people. We have a different let me put it this way. We have a different mask for the people at work. We have a different mask when we're at home. We have a different mask for if we go to church or whatever it is, you have different masks that you put on to present yourself. And this will very much be highlighted this month. It's like, you know what? Forget it. I am who I am, right? I cuss a lot. Not a lot, I wouldn't say a lot, but I like the F-bomb. Fuck, right? Some people are like, that's not very ladylike. You know what? I don't care. I don't smoke. I don't drink. My one thing is, I do like to curse every now and then. It's part of my expression. I like it. I'm not like I like it, but it just happens. I don't even think about it. It just comes out. And it doesn't bother me, and if it's going to bother you, then I don't want to be around you. Not that I don't want to be around you, but if that's what you're going to get hung up on, that's not what I want to be with. So if you are though, no judgment there, but I'm just going to be who I am. And if there's some part of me that you don't like, then it's too bad. So all that is really going to be highlighted around the 13th, guys. All of this is going to come to light. And there's a real switch of energy that happens around mid-month across the board for all signs. This is a powerful full moon. And it really launches a lot of people into an amazing end of the month. You're just coming out of this with so much clarity and insight on where you want to go, which is fabulous. On the 23rd, the sun enters Scorpio season. Woohoo! Right? Halloween. Yes. The 27th is challenging. I'm going to put that in there, and I think I'm going to do a video around that. I don't want to get too into it and make this too long, but there's some challenging energies around the 27th, so just FYI. The new moon on the 28th is in Scorpio, in the house of Scorpio. There are some challenges because the sun is opposite of Uranus, but again, this is going to be with the new moon in Libra on the 28th in Libra, and then we're having the new moon in Scorpio in Scorpio. This month period, huge period to plant seeds and start being or setting in motion a new phase and cycle in life. I'm feeling this for everyone across the board. So, especially with that full moon, which is about how you present yourself in the world, your destiny. I mean, the fact that that's happening in between these two moons is just cray. I'll probably do a video on that, so don't worry, because I don't want to get too long. And then on the 31st, Mercury goes into retrograde. I know, you guys. Happens 3-4 times a year. Just is what it is. What you need to know is that you need to check the fine print. You need to fill up your tires. If that knock in your engine has been going and you've been ignoring it, or the brakes have been squealing, you've been ignoring it, Mercury's gonna give you a harsh reality check. It's what Mercury in retrograde does. You'll be stranded on the side of the road because you have been ignoring what needs to be addressed. That's Mercury in retrograde. So it's not always bad. What Mercury in retrograde does is he makes you go back and address the things you're ignoring. We're always moving forward. And Mercury's like, no, why don't you go back and finish that project? No, you need to take care of that problem with your car that you haven't been addressing. And you know what, if you don't address it, you're gonna end up stranded on the side of the road. So, Mercury is great. Just in retrograde is not totally great, but it makes us pause and finish up projects that are sitting in the corner and not addressed. So if you have to sign a contract during this time, double, triple check the fine print. Make sure you have everything. You have someone else look at it as well. Just be really cautious during this time because Mercury retrograde is the time to make mistakes on contracts, on purchases. You don't purchase computer stuff during this time. Not the best time. Try not to purchase a phone if you don't. All these things. It's best not to do it while Mercury's in retrograde. And technically in shadow. Sometimes shadow is the worst for me. I've noticed. It's the period like 2 weeks before Mercury hits retrograde that can be the roughest. I've noticed for me. For others, it can be smack dab in the middle. If you were born when Mercury was in retrograde, it might not affect you as bad. That's the other thing sometimes with charts. You're like, I never have a problem when Mercury's in retrograde. I don't want everybody. Well, look at your chart. Were you born when Mercury was in retrograde? Because that's interesting. All right. Cool. So let's get to your reading. Wow, it was really interesting, guys. I was channeling for you. And I had it was really funny. I had to, I had to break out of my channeling for a little bit and then go back in. And I was just like, This is really interesting. You guys have a very, and I don't want to sound mean, it's a blah, and not blah, but it's kind of like, man, I feel like you guys are just like bobbing along. You're like, you know what? I'm just trying to get through a lot of this right now. Just trying to get through it. And I get you. I totally get you. The earth signs, you know, earth signs are getting hit particularly hard. Earth and water. And a lot of that has to do, your fellow earth sign Capricorn is, Saturn is in Capricorn right now. He's your fellow earth sign. Pluto is in Capricorn. The two of them in Capricorn, and Capricorn is the house of karma, are just churning up so much karmic crap, past life crap, past childhood crap, churning up patterns. If you like haven't been triggered by something in a long time, like if you know you thought, oh, I was over that, that doesn't bug me anymore, and then something has recently come up, you're like, and that just triggered you and made you really upset, and you got, you know, reminds you of the time that your dad scolded you at Disneyland or something. This is all this energy. It is absolutely all this energy. And then you throw in that Uranus is in Taurus, which is detrimental for Taurus in particular, but for kind of all for earth signs. It's affecting other earth signs as well, because Uranus is about change and progress and innovation. And you earth signs, you're kind of like that, but not always, especially Taurus. Taurus is not about change. Not about change at all. I know, my mother is a Taurus. I have my best friend's a Taurus and loves her. Not about change. Not at all. Does not happen quickly for them. Slow, like at a turtle, slow and in their own time. So you're having a lot of planets that are very intense and are really in some earth sign houses that are really mucking up the stability, the ground. I love that. It's interesting that I have this thing of turning up the ground, because you guys are earth signs, and it's just churning up your ground, and it's making you feel very unstable. So I get that you're just like, oh man, I'm just getting hit by things, and I'm kind of worn out, and that came up too. So let's talk. First thing I want you to know, and I thought was interesting, because Taurus got this card as well. So the energy oracle card you guys got was the fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. So you guys are very much being divinely guided this month in terms of your fourth chakra, which is your heart chakra. This is saying very much that you guys want to shut down, but this is not what you need to do. You got to keep that heart open. If you're unaware, there's an amazing book called The Untethered Soul, which you can actually read for free on Amazon Prime if you're a member. It's an amazing book, and he talks about trauma and stuff being held up in the heart chakra. And if you don't release it, it can be, I was like, I'd rather read it because I feel like I'm mucking it up right now, but it really, stuff gets stuck in the heart, and it mucks up the heart chakra, and it closes you off, and it makes you defensive, or all kinds of other things. And so I feel like this month, because there's some very interesting and supportive cards that kind of go very much, the cards that are coming up is that you do feel a little shut down by life right now, and relationships, which we'll get into. And I'm very much sensing that although the temptation is to shut down and protect yourself, you actually need to do the opposite. You need to feel the pain. It's not easy for Virgos, I know. It's not easy for anyone. You need to feel the pain. You need to release the pain. You need to forgive that person. And what was incredible was, and by the way, how to clear the heart chakra is forgiveness. Forgiveness. There's an amazing Mind Valley, I can't remember the guy's name, but he talks about a whole process of forgiveness and what it does for his life and his career and his money. When he started learning to forgive people as a daily ritual, all of a sudden he started having the best life ever. Because holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. And that's what I feel like's going on for you guys right now. Because I pulled an angel answer card this month just because I wanted to know, and I got forgiveness. So guys, there's definitely something going on with you guys. You're plodding along. That's not living life. That's not being engaged in life. You're not being very engaged in life at the moment. And I get it, because when we get the next three cards, I know why. I know why. It's life. But, you know, I say, this is my little quote, you have to look at adversity and prosperity with the same smile. Both have lessons for you. Both have gifts to give to you if you're really interested. Right? Adversity builds a tremendous amount of character. Prosperity can build a tremendous amount of character depending on what you do with prosperity, right? Both have good and bad. If you meet adversity and you crumble, yikes, right? But if you meet adversity and you grow and you still pick yourself and you move forward, it's amazing character building. Life building, you're being your better self. Prosperity is the same way. You have prosperity and go, you know what, I'm not going to hold on to this prosperity. I'm going to teach other people how to be prosperous. I'm going to share my prosperity. I don't want to hoard it all. You know? Now, if you want to hoard it all and be miserly, it just corrupts. Ever notice, like, I mean, some of the richest people are really nasty, corrupt people. Because money, holding on to money doesn't do a lot. It corrupts you. Makes you greedier, makes you more insecure, makes you needy, all these things. So there's something to learn from both of them. So greet them each with the same smile, right? That's what I feel like the lesson is here for you guys. Because, so the first card I pulled is the 5. Second card I pulled was the 2 of Pentacles. And the next card I pulled was the 4 of Swords. So these are the start of your month. What's going on, guys? So let's talk about this lack. You're not the only one. Capricorn, your fellow earth sign, is right here with you guys. And actually a lot of the energy that you guys have is fairly similar. I feel like you guys feel like you're getting hit a little. You're not getting hit, not to like compare, you're not getting hit as hard as Capricorn is. Man, poor Capricorns. But you guys are both making the same mistake of feeling that you're in a situation of lack. And for you guys, I feel much more like you really do feel like you're juggling finances right now, right? You are really, for some of you, I can totally sense this, you are literally learning how, you know, to steal from Peter to pay Paul. That is totally coming through for you guys. And this has not been this month, like this has been several months, and this is why the 4 of Swords is coming up for you. It's exhausting. It is effing exhausting. I get that, guys. This is totally coming through. It's totally coming through. Here's the hard part, all right? It is not easy when you are in this cycle, in this, like, I call it this downward spin, right? You're just spinning in your self-pity, and I don't want to, like, I'm not saying you feel, but you know what I'm saying? When you're just in this mire, you can't see the forest through the trees. You just, here's what I don't have. I'm working so hard. Nothing's going my way. This just sucks, blah, 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 blah. You can just, it's called momentum, right? This momentum of feeling you have to break the momentum. You have to. You know, if you go to sleep at night, you break the momentum unless you're not sleeping, which kind of is a little of this. Not totally, it's not the 9 of Swords. You're just freaking exhausted. If you break that momentum when you sleep and then get up and then just start it all over again, how's that helping you? Right? I'm going to tell you what I told Capricorn. If you're constantly beating the drum of lack, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, the universe is like, oh great, that's what you keep echoing out to us, and that's the signal and the vibration that you're sending to us. Okay, we'll keep not giving you stuff. That's what it is, guys. I hate saying you create your own reality. You are creating your own lack by saying how much stuff you don't have or what you don't want. Right? What you need to do is change this momentum. Change this, stop beating the drum of what you don't have and start beating the drum of what you do have or what you do want. Right? You need to start setting out a vibration of, oh wow, I see myself in that new job, right? Oh my gosh. I see myself getting bigger paychecks. Oh my gosh, I see myself being able to pay back so-and-so because I'm not living month. Oh my gosh, I see myself actually being able to put some money in my savings account. Oh my God, right? And you're visualizing it and you're feeling it too, right? Like, oh my gosh, it feels so good. when I'm putting like $100 every month in my savings account. Oh, that feels really good, right? Oh my gosh, it feels so good to pay down my credit card bills. I'm gonna have a plan, right? To pay it down, this feels so awesome. But you sitting there going, I don't have this and this isn't working my way and I'm just never gonna get ahead, is never going to get you ahead. You're in the wrong mindset, right? I'm gonna put another video on here. I just feel like I need to do it for you guys. Impact Theory, if you're not watching Impact Theory, shame on you. No judgment. But there's a guy, his name, Garen, I know it's Garen, Garrin. And he talks about living in his car, being at his lowest moment, and then realized in order to change his life, he needed to change his mindset. And that's what you guys need to do. So he was saying, you know, if I always took the escalator, I started taking the stairs. If I always went one way, I switched it up. He just started doing the opposite of what he always did. Because if that's where you guys are, if you guys are stuck and you keep doing the same thing over and over and again, that's the definition of insanity. You're always going to get the same results because you're doing the same thing. So if you don't like where you are, stop doing what you keep doing and change it up. Change it up, guys. You have to do the opposite of what you're doing. Right? So there's my tough love. I'm so sorry. But seriously, you need to hear this. This is what's coming through. You have to hear this. This is a little like Capricorn again. Man, my poor earth signs. I feel so bad for you guys. However, I do want to say, this is not all bad. This is necessary because you guys have, and everyone is very interesting for the most part, except with Aries. Everyone's getting 5 cards. What I mean is 5 in the minor arcana are cards. 5 is a time of transition. So you were transitioning, right? You're taking all this stuff that Capricorn, that's been going on in Capricorn, Pluto and Saturn, training up all this stuff and it's affecting you. But now it's time, as they both go to direct, go, you know what? Nope, I'm going to figure my life out and I'm going to start putting the pieces together. It's time to knock this shit off. Because this is transformative energy. You are transitioning. So do not despair. Do not despair. Yeah, you need to change some stuff. But the energy is with you. Look, the Archangel Raphael is with you guys. He's with you this month. He's with Taurus this month as well. With you guys. Okay? Whew. So it's there. You're transforming. It's all going to work out. I swear. Because your ending card is magnifique. Okay? So, your next card, the 4th card that I pulled out, was the 3 of Wands. So I love this. I got so excited when I saw this. There's a lot of job changes going on this month, which is interesting for October because, you know, a lot of people are like, oh no, really new job happens in March because people get, no. I think there's a lot of job switching going on this month. Not for everyone, but you are definitely thinking about it. Even for you, there is a potential overseas. I have some of you maybe shipping out overseas, moving overseas. The other thing that came through, some of you are looking at taking a grad course or something overseas, which, if that's your dream, do it. Don't worry about this. Don't. If you get accepted for a grad program overseas, all I want you to think about is, you know what? Everything will work out for me. It's all going to work out for me. Something will work out for me. Money will come through for me some way. I don't know, I'll do a GoFund. I'll get a scholarship, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. I know that I got accepted and that's where the universe wants to be and that's my dream. And I know that all the other stuff is just going to figure out and work out and it'll be fine. I know that's hard for Virgos. I know. But that is how you have to think. Because whatever situation you're stuck in, it's changing. It is changing. And the reason being, they're just telling me to go to this card instead and skip over another one. Because of this. I love the star card. I love the star card. Your wish is coming true. The new job, the new education, the new apprenticeship program, the new master degree or whatever, your wish is coming true. It's there for you. Do not get caught up in the lack. Get caught up in the dream and the possibility of where this could take you, right? Switch out of that negative vibration and get into a more positive one. Because it's there for you. Lovely, lovely Virgos, it's there for you. Now, what we do need to talk about though, I feel like what's hanging you up from this job or this move or whatever has to do with a family relationship. And I'm getting more family than anything else. It may be a loving, a spouse relationship. And in another way, I also feel like, and for some of you, it may be a marriage or a long-term relationship that is more familiar and friendship than romantic anymore. You know what I'm talking about. That will be reevaluated, and that has to change this month. The energy is there. If you are, and that could be the other thing, if you're worried about leaving because then you won't have then that's bullshit. That's fear-based. I don't understand why, you're going to stay in something that's not working because of fear. And fear, all fear is fear is that you have now created a known result for a situation that hasn't even been experienced yet. So you're already creating scenarios and stories in your head about what's going to happen, and you haven't even gotten there yet. So stop that. Stop it. Because I absolutely feel that it's interesting that this will happen around the full moon. Again, I said so much clarity is coming in around the full moon, and your clarity is going to be about this relationship. And this relationship is absolutely about expressing your boundaries. It is also about this word, forgiveness. So there's two things that need to happen around this relationship. You need to forgive yourself, and you need to forgive them. And you need to move on. And what I also mean by moving on, being a family member, you're like, for some of you, I do have a feeling that it's like you're moving away from your family member for a time. Like, you know what? Until you get your shit together, or, you stop doing drugs, whatever that is for you. There are boundaries that need to be said and forgiveness that needs to be done. Like I said, for you and for them. You need to realize they're doing the best they can. You are doing the best you can. So forgive each other. If you're not meeting each other's needs in some way, that's fine. It's okay. But what you need to know is that you need to take care of yourself first, right? My favorite analogy, one thing I love to use the most, is when the oxygen masks come down in the airplane, if you don't put one on yourself first, you can't help anybody else. So you have to help yourself. You have to get in the right mindset. You have to be achieving, right? When you get to that point where you are prosperous, then of course you share your prosperity with everyone else. That's the whole point of that. But if you are not in a capacity to be there for someone the way you want, and I want to use that carefully, because it doesn't mean that don't be there for people. It's not what I'm saying, right? I think it's so important to have connections with people. What I'm saying is, if someone, and because the truth will come out, and you will know if someone's abusing you, and if someone's taking you for granted, and you're lying to yourself about it, or you're just ignoring it. That's what this is about. That's what the energy that's coming through. It is about you. This is it. You can see it's my tinier ones, but, right? It's the 7 of Cups energy. It is leaving all the past shit behind, all the emotional disappointment, all hurt. Sorry, guys, my camera keeps shutting off. Yes, the 7 of Cups is about leaving all your past shit behind. And it's disappointments, and it's emotional hurts, and emotional baggage, and pain. It is about forgiving it, and letting go, and moving on. Right? Because this is what's happening. You have the 7. It's interesting, it came up twice, and it was so funny because I was trying to clarify this, and it came up again. I'm like, okay. Right? This is also cautioning that when you do this, be careful that you win the battle but at a cost, right? So you want to express your pain and your disappointment. You want to create the boundaries, but you don't want to do it in a hurtful way, which will be a little hard because Mercury's in Scorpio, like I said. There's a temptation to deliver the truth in a really harsh, cruel way. Don't. Deliver it in a very matter-of-fact way. Matter of fact, I think the best suggestion I can give is talk about the behavior, right? If if you are giving someone feedback on how to treat you better, you don't like, oh, you're stupid when you do that. No, that's attacking them. No one wants to hear that. You wouldn't want to hear that. But what they can say is, your behavior was really rude and it was condescending. Because when you criticize the behavior, you're criticizing the way they're acting towards you, not them, not the person. You're not saying you're a bad person. You're saying your behavior was very bad and ill-advised. And you shouldn't have, peed off the balcony at my friend's house the other night at the party, right? Okay, that's what you're saying. You're not saying, you're not attacking them as a person, but what you're saying is like, look, when you behave this way, it has consequences on me. I don't feel comfortable. I don't like it. It makes me sad, or it puts me in pain, or whatever it is. That's the kind of conversation you want to have. Not where you're attacking them. Not that I think Virgos totally do that. But depending on what other signs you have in your placement in your chart, you could. If you got some fire, you could deliver it rather harshly. But I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. There's definitely some forgiveness in a relationship. I feel like it's familiar, or possibly a relationship where a lover that's no longer a husband or a wife or a spouse or something it's a long-term relationship where it doesn't feel romantic anymore. And that needs to be addressed. Completely needs to be addressed. And for the familiar things, you may have to put that stuff in check. You need to let that family member know how that makes you feel. And it could be your mom, it could be your dad. It is not an easy conversation to have. I am not saying it is. But for your growth, to get where you guys want to get to go after your dreams, this is a big thing with the month. You have to deal with this relationship and this mindset of lack, because this is what's happening for you guys. Let's pull another card. You got to get some things in your house in order. And what I mean is your house is your mindset, right? And knowing your worth. Wow, that just popped in. That's a big one. They just say you're not standing in your worth. You're not standing in your power. Pluto, the other amazing thing about Pluto is about power over people and empowering others. It's about power. And this too is about not standing in your power, Virgo. You're just not embracing, you're not engaging life, you're not standing in your power. That also is what I channeled. Adrift. Earlier when I was there, I'm like, you're just adrift. That's a shitty way to go through life. I'm sorry for the tough love, but I'm saying this with love in my heart. A little bit, try not to be harsh, truth, right? You're adrift, and that is not good enough for you. It's just not good enough for you. You are worthy, you are enough, and you deserve freaking better. And you need to start believing that, and you need to start putting that out there, and you need to stand in your own power and your own worth and go after your dreams and what you want and being more engaged in life. Not letting life happen to you, but you happening to life. Capiche? Wow, I just felt like I threw a whole lot at you. So excited. See, I got on that rampage. I'm like so happy now. Got on that rampage on you guys, but see, if you do this, and you know what is crazy? This is the same end card that Capricorn got. You guys both this month are going through real similar energy. Real similar energy. You both have great things in store for you at the end. You absolutely do. But you have got to stop this momentum of spiraling down into a negative pattern. You got to get positive. You got to stand in your worth and your power. And you got to love on you. And if someone else isn't giving you the love that you deserve, you call them on that. You call them on it. You're worth it. God loves you. Source loves you. You are an extension of Source, right? God is it. You are worthy of love. So, and know that when you give that feedback to someone else, they are also worthy of love, right? Don't do it in a cruel way. I don't think you guys will, but I just want to caution, right? So love, guys. Love yourself. And I think you're going to get out of this little wobble that you're having. Okay? I'm excited for you guys, actually. You guys are going to come through this. Just like Capricorn, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You have the star and the sun card. And actually, technically, you got the moon on a clarifier. So you got, and the angel's working for you, okay? What more do I need to say? You just have to put it in motion. You have to start making, and they're not going to have to be big changes, small little changes, changing, right? All right, guys. I love you all so much. Please have an amazing October. I'd love to hear from you guys and let me know how it goes. In the meantime, I am sending you so much love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And until next time, namaste.